Hello students. Today we will be discussing about the topic community ecology. We'll start with the definition of community. A community is a group of populations living in a particular area. It is formed of many different kinds of species. It comprises many kinds of plants, animals and microorganisms of a given area. Yes, so community is nothing but it is a group of population which is living in a particular area and which consists of different types of species or different types of organisms. It is different from population. Why? Because population is a group of individuals living in a particular area in a given period of time having the individuals belonging to the same species. Whereas a community, it is a group of populations living in a particular area which is having many different species. A variety of species is present in a community. A community may be defined as a natural assemblage of plants, animals and microorganisms inhabiting in a given habitat. For example, pond community and forest community. Pond community, all the organisms living in a pond constitutes a pond community. It is formed of different kinds of water plants, fishes, frogs, snakes, insects, crustaceans, microorganisms and so on. Next example is forest community. It is formed of various kinds of trees, herbs, shrubs, deer, foxes, lions and so on, and many other different animals, microorganisms and etc. living on the forest. Next, we will speak about structure of community. Each community is having a definite structure. It is formed of three groups of organisms, namely producers, consumers and decomposers. Now, we will be speaking about producers. The green plants constitute the producers. They are autotrophs. They synthesize starch by photosynthesis utilizing chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, minerals and solar energy. The producers form the main source of energy for the other components of community. Example, plants, phytoplanktons, etc. So students, producers are nothing but these are the organisms which produce their own foods. Hence they are called as autotrophs. Autotrophs are nothing but these are the organisms which are having the capacity of preparing their own food by utilizing the abiotic factors. And these producers form the main source of energy for other components of the community. Examples, plants and phytoplanktons, etc. Next one are the consumers. The consumers are the heterotrophs. They cannot produce their own food utilizing the abiotic factors. But they depend on the producers and other organisms of the community for their food. Consumers are of two types, namely herbivores and carnivores. Herbivores. Herbivores are the animals depending only on the producers, that is the plants. They are also called as primary consumers because they form the first order of consumers. Example, deer, rabbit in forest community, then zooplanktons and plant-eating fishes of pond community. So herbivores are nothing but these are the organisms which are not having the capacity to prepare their own food but depend on the plants for their food, and they also form the first order of consumers. Example, for forest community, deer and rabbit and many of the herbivorous organisms, and for pond community, zooplanktons and plant-eating fishes. Next one, carnivores. Carnivores are the animals which eat other animals for their food. These are also called secondary consumers because they form the second order of consumers. Example, fox, lion, tiger of the forest community, fish, frog, snake of the pond community, and many other organisms which depend on herbivores for their food. Then carnivores are further subdivided into primary carnivores, secondary carnivores and tertiary carnivores. The primary carnivores depend on the herbivores for their food. Secondary carnivores depend on primary carnivores and tertiary carnivores depend on the secondary carnivores. Next one, the last component of the structure of community, decomposers. Decomposers include microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. They decompose the dead bodies of plants and animals of the community and convert them into micro and macronutrients. These nutrients are again utilized by the plants for photosynthesis. So decomposers, these are the microorganisms, for example bacteria and fungi, which decay the dead bodies of plants and animals and then they convert those dead bodies into micro and macronutrients, which are again reutilized by the plants for photosynthesis. So here each component of the structure of community is interdependent on each other. You can see here the producers, on these producers, consumers are depending on the consumers, or that is a dead body of the plants and animals. Decomposers will be depending, and the result of the decomposers, that is the decayed matter, which is converted into micro and macronutrients. It is being utilized by these producers for their group or for the preparation of their food by photosynthesis. In the second picture, you can also see this is a pyramid of biomass in a terrestrial ecosystem, which is showing you in the first line the producers, then in the second one are the herbivores, then the prime carnivores and the top carnivore. And later on, you can also see at the tip here, there will be decomposers. Here. You can see here, students, here the forest floor, all the decomposed material which is present on the floor in the form of litter is present here. Then it consists of many microorganisms and the organisms which run on the floor of the forest. The next layer is subterranean layer, which is present below the earth's crust. It is the lowermost layer where organisms like protozoans, then bacteria, earthworms and etc. are found inside. Then, in aquatic communities such as large lakes and oceans, temperature causes thermal stratification. It is formed of three layers, namely upper limnion, upper epilimnion, a middle thermocline, that is metalimnion, and a lower hypolimnion. See, here we studied the 5 stratifications in the forest. That was trees, shrubs, herbs, then forest floor and subterranean layer. Next, in the aquatic community, the whole whole ocean or the lake, its depth is being divided into 3 layers based on the temperature, and that is called as thermal stratification. The 3 layers are, the upper layer is called as upper epilimnion, whose temperature ranges from 22 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius. The middle layer is thermocline of metalimnion, whose temperature ranges from 21 degrees Celsius to 7 degrees Celsius. And the last layer is hypolimnion, whose temperature ranges from 7 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. Similarly, based on the penetration of light, again 3 layers of the ocean or the lake is being formed. Again vertical stratification only, based on the penetration of light, how much light is passing into the water of the sea or ocean or lake. Based on that penetration of light, the whole sea or ocean is divided into 3 layers, namely euphotic zone, dysphotic zone and aphotic zone. So euphotic zone, the light will penetrate from 0 meters to 80 meters. Then dysphotic zone, very little light will be penetrating inside from 80 meters to 200 meters. And aphotic zone is where the light is not at all penetrating and that is the lowest layer, which is 200 meters and below. Next, we will see about horizontal stratification. This is the second type of stratification. Here, horizontal stratification refers to the distribution of individuals on a horizontal plane in a community. In a terrestrial community, in vertical stratification, we saw distribution of individuals in a vertical plane. Now we will be seeing distribution of individuals in a horizontal plane. In a terrestrial community, the individuals may be distributed on the floor in three ways, namely uniform, clumped and random. In uniform, you can see the picture. In uniform distribution, the species are distributed uniformly throughout the community. They are arranged in a regular pattern, uniformly distributed all over in the community. The next one is clumped distribution. Clumped, as the name itself is telling you, clumped means formation of groups. The individuals are aggregated into groups. And last one, random. In random distribution, the individuals are irregularly placed. They are not having any regular pattern. However, anyhow they are being placed in the community. So this is horizontal stratification. Thank you.